So the topic that I chose for my music analysis project was the song "The Less I Know, the Better" by Tame Impala, written by Kevin Parker. My general thesis and the rundown of the song in my own words goes as follows. The rock band Tame Impala does a good job of infusing emotion and provoking further examination of one's own love life by using musical devices combined with the lyrics and the way that certain words are sung. The song tells a story of a high school basketball player, or just really anybody in general, but the music video tells a story of a high school basketball player and uh, the relationship that he had with the top cheerleader and how he fell in love with this cheerleader only to find out the next day that she was sleeping with Trevor, the gorilla mascot. So it's a very interesting story and music video. But essentially, he finds this out and it's just the worst feeling ever. And he's so heartbroken by this news that he sings a whole song about it to just reminisce and express his thoughts and general reactions on this whole scenario. Kevin Parker uses the way that he sings the actual words to help paint the picture of what they actually mean and the significance of them. So he utilizes reverberation and pitch to do this. The first example of where reverberation is used to better represent and give a more clear feeling and image of what a word means to the listener is the fourth line down of the first stanza. When Kevin sings "Not the Greatest Feeling Ever" and really just emphasizes that ever with all this reverberation, it heightens the effect of that word to make it seem more infinite and this is literally the worst feeling ever. And it just touches upon the listener, and the listener can relate to that. And it really gets the listener into a zone where they're in their feels thinking about how terrible this feeling is to have a girl like you and then just one day she stops liking you. So Kevin also uses repetition in the second stanza to emphasize this word mind. He uses mind twice in a row for a rhyme scheme, and it just really sticks to the listener's brain how mind, and it gets you thinking oh, this girl or boy is on my mind too. I wonder if I can get them to change their mind about their current lover. And it's this whole thought process that you go through that can get very emotional. So here's the excerpt. How is meter and melody utilized? So the meter of the music is basically broken up into sets of 2 beats, which is interesting because you can think of this as some sort of gateway into this other person's thoughts that you're interested in and your own thoughts. The beat goes like dun 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 dun. And with these two beats really playing off each other, it kind of uh, creates a lot of like tension in your thoughts about like, who's thinking about who likes who, just really childish, basic things that really are like how the world works. So here's the beginning of the song that has this beat. So in this next excerpt, you can notice how the melody changes from being this dun 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 to a more serene and kind of hopeful melody, uh, really. So yeah, so this part of the song, it offers the listener like some kind of hope that maybe like she sees herself by my side, he sees himself by my side, and it again gives rise to many emotions in the listener that there's still hope. People change. People start liking people. People stop liking people. And people are just constantly changing, and everything in general is always changing. So here's that excerpt. So this last slide that I added was just a bunch of cool quotes that I found Kevin Parker had said, and it just goes to show like how much is really put into all this psychedelic rock genre kind of, and how people like Kevin Parker really appreciate finding unique sounds and making them, and just like it's a whole process to make these sounds. Just something really quickly that I forgot to cover in like my third slide was the amount of repetition that Kevin Parker uses um, to really like make something stick in the listener's mind and just get them thinking repetitively about this whole thing of like, don't wait forever, and the less that I know, the better. So here's just an excerpt of what I was talking about just now. She said it's now or never, and is moving together. I said better late than never, just don't make me wait So when he repeats this phrase, "Don't make me wait forever," it's essentially he's essentially saying that like waiting forever means that it's never going to happen. So don't let this not happen, and make it happen, and don't make me waste my life thinking that it will happen. And that sucks, to think that something will happen, but it just doesn't happen. And that's what he's saying. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to that feeling of thinking that something's going to happen, but it just never happens, and it's the worst. And I think that can be categorized under one of the worst feelings ever that he was describing. So what I have just described there is just an example of what one could take this song as and turn it into, with the emotions all flushing around their brains. So these thoughts, these um, interpretations that I was making are just products of all this emotion and thinking that this song um, radiates in people and just listeners in general. Just one quick side note. I think that this was in the background for a little bit because I was looking at the lyrics. Um, please don't take that many points off. Please, please, please.